Oh, let me turn my camera. Hey, babe. My
How are
camera.
you, my love?
I'm doing good sitting in front of this computer.
As you always do. So I had to give you my Beam Dukes today.
Hey, you looking good, girl.
First of all, I was like, okay, I got to give her a little Beam Dukes. Like this is my interpretation of Beam Dukes at Christmas.
Oh, you close. You hitting it on the nail.
Okay, now so I can see. Let me put on my glasses so I can see for real.
Hey, loves. Hey, loves.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
close this
hollering.
top out. I'm right. I was writing from both computers once again.
See, listen. You know what? You know what I did prior to our interview today? I looked up the word masterpiece. And it says a work of outstanding artistry, skill, or workmanship. Ma'am, how? First of all, welcome to Pop Your Shit. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I'm trying to say hey to everyone in the comments. Hey. All right, I sent it. Yeah, well, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start this show interview.
So, welcome to Pop Your Shit, y'all. This is I'm Nicole. I'm your host. I'm from Booked and Busy. And next to me is this beautiful lady right here, talented, the masteress of them all, masterpiece. The authoress. I'm sorry, the authoress, masterpiece. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I love doing interviews. I get nervous, but
But why?
I'm here. I'm ready to talk. I'm about to close this out, close this laptop. You have all my attention.
But why are you? Why do you get nervous? What is there to be nervous about? This is me.
Because I live behind a computer all day.
It's me.
I'm writing all day. So I just had to snap out of my dark mood because I am writing a dark romance right now. So it's like switching personalities because um I'm got like four POVs and two of them are really dark. So it's like a switch. It's like a light switch for me. And I have to do that in my everyday life because I'm always at home with my kids. And when they talk to me, I could be writing a murder scene. So I gotta, what did she say, honey?
1 second. Let me, because this is gonna be stupid. So your kids, you have. This is my kid right now. This is my kid, and he getting ready to start barking and acting a whole donkey real quick. So we gonna sit up here and have this interview with this foolishness right here. Um, so you mentioned that you have to switch personalities. Is that hard?
Yes. Okay. So depending on the book. So like when I'm writing books that's really not like the characters are not really deranged, then it's easy for me to switch. But in this case, everything is dark. The only time I get to lighten up is when I get to the women POV. But the men POVs are dark. And this book is really dark. It's a dark book. It's
So we
not
going pitch black.
I'm going damn near pitch black. And it's like for me right now it's running me low because this is my first official dark romance. I did practice with some of my books, like you mentioned, Curvy Obsessions. Um, some of my books, I have practiced a little darkness in them, but this book is full fledged dark, and um, I'm trying to warm everybody up to it. That's why I just dropped the cover only on here, and then I did like a visual on my Instagram. But I will do a reveal on all social platforms by Friday. But most of my books I've practiced dark, but this is my first official dark. The book is it's long. It's going to be over 100,000 words.
What?
Yes, the cover drop is actually I did something special because I love TikTok. I did the cover reveal on here first, but then I will do them on the other platforms later. But a lot of people right now are getting confused Because I dropped the visual, and I'll show real quick. I dropped the visual on my Instagram, and they think that this is the cover, and it's not.
Is he? So he's one of the characters.
He's one of the characters, Munster. His name is Munster.
Oh Lord Jesus.
And a lot of people think that he is like the cover. He's not the cover. My cover is to bring in diversity. I mentioned that like when we was on live the other night. So that's like my goal in writing this book. I didn't drop the other character visual, so it's Munster. It's really Detavio, Decibel, and Munster. Um, it is a book. It's a time. That's all I will say to that.
Is it easy write or is it hard to write?
Um, I think it becomes hard with the plot. I was on the phone with Shannon for like 2, 3 hours yesterday because I was going back and forth with her about how to twist and turn and plot this book in a way where by the time you get to the end, your mouth will drop. Because for the first time ever, I did an anonymous chapter. So there's a chapter that's like the key into the plot of the story in the beginning where it says anonymous. So you don't know who POV it is. You don't know who's talking. You don't know who it is. But then by the time you get to towards the end, towards the middle of the book, that's when it'll all blow your mind. Um, and then it's the thing. I'm pushing buttons. I like to push buttons with my writing, and I really have not been able to push buttons like I normally like to do in my writing. But in this book, I'm pushing all buttons, and if I get pushed back for it, I don't even care because it's just like I'm going for it in this book. Like this is how I'm starting 2025 out. I'm going full throttle. I'm not holding back, and it's just it is what it is.
Do you have a estimate release time?
I want to say so. I have my team of authors. I officially have 5 signed authors now. I just signed one more author, and she is dope. I can't even reveal her pen name right now because she's working on that. So I have so many. Masterpiece Presents have a lot of releases for January. We have part twos coming. We have new books coming. So I'm probably like 15, 20% into this book. And because it's going to be a long book, I will say maybe end of January, mid January, maybe February. But then again, I have a Valentine's team project coming out in February. So even if I drop it in February, it'll be mid February. But I mean, it's going to be the top of the year. It's going to be the top of the year. And I'm only gonna do it's gonna be ebook and then it's gonna be hardcover special edition for this book.
So what you're getting ready to do is just step on all our necks for
That's the
January,
goal.
February.
That's the goal. Like I'm stepping my pen game up. I've been working. I got like a whole bunch of books that I've been studying just to perfect and better my craft. I think for all authors, you can never get stuck in a spot and say, I'm comfortable.
Right.
I can write. I got it. I got this on lock. I think as an author, it's always good to press your own buttons and force yourself to open up to new possibilities, to, open up your pen a little bit more, correct problems. I've been taking notes from my editors. I have 3 editors and I take notes from them. I tell them, don't candy coat nothing with me. If something don't make sense, if I'm doing repetitive words, if something could be better with my plots or anything, tell me so I could take note of it so I could fix that problem by 2025. So I went through all my old edits and I'm ready just to be better. I don't want to. I no longer want to rush a story just to get it out to my readers. My readers are spoiled. My loyal readers are spoiled, and I've made them that way because I always produce a book every month or like for Permission Please. I wrote Permission Please 2 in under a week, so just so I could release both books in the same month. And this time I want to take my time. Like I want to take my time and really dig into my craft and better my craft. And that's what I'm giving in 2025. So if I skip a month without releasing, it just is what it is because what I'm giving is quality and I'm just better at myself all around.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all people in the back. Now, y'all might not be on this live here, like right now, with the people in the comments. Let me tell y'all who just peeking in. This lady is lethal. Lethal. Her pen. I might use wicked, but when I tell you that pen be penning, you had me a long time ago. So just so that people know, because this again, for those that don't know, our interview will be on full. The full interview will be up tomorrow on YouTube. When did you start
Okay.
your
When
writing
did I
process?
start writing?
Yes.
Oh man. So I love telling this story. So I officially started January 1st. So my anniversary is coming up. I started January the 1st, 2020. My first publisher was Kels Kimberly. And Kels Kimberly was the type of publisher. And I know some of y'all have seen her work and she's still writing and everything. Kels Kimberly was a sweetheart. I was a brand new author. She literally just grabbed my hand and held on. And my first book, I sped through it because I just wanted to get the story out. So it didn't make sense, but it was just like, okay, I'm done with the story. And she said, no, I want you to start from chapter one and go back through the whole book and go from there and watch your book turn out good. So I did that. I dropped 5 books under Kels Kimberly, and Kels Kimberly, she wanted to focus more on her craft, so she stepped down. And I took that kind of like I was kind of like lost after that. So I did take like a year break off, and then I came back and signed to S. Siobhan. I gave her over probably like 25 books, and then I went independent. But how I started writing is I'm still an avid reader, but I used to be an avid reader. And then when I mean I used to be an avid reader, I sent emails to Sister Soldier about her book. I reached out. I used to be in groups supporting authors, getting on their nerves. I was that type of avid reader. I would get on their nerves. Like I would get in their inbox and be like, "You shouldn't have ended this book like that. You shouldn't have did. Oh, this should happen. Like you being too hard on this character. Like they real girl." And an author told me you should write your own book. And when that author told me that, I'm like, okay, Miss Smarty. But I thought about it like, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Because I like controlling the book. I love even when I read books now, I'm still an avid reader. And I'm like, ooh, she should have did this or she should have did that. But then I have to remind myself it's not my book. It's not my book. I can't control it. So I go write my own stuff. And when readers tell me, when I do series and readers try to tell me, oh, this gonna happen in part two, just because you said that, I go in there and remix and do the opposite. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I fell in love with it, and then along the way, I mean, my past, and I have past trauma. I have a lot of things from the past that helps me. A lot of my books, mental illness, it focuses on that, and that's from personal experiences, people close to me. And so it's really therapy for me. Like a lot of times my books hit on a lot of raw emotions because sometimes I go back to a place and I say, okay, this is going to be my closure. I'm going to put this in this character and then I get to push it all out and move forward from it.
I hear a lot of authors saying that writing is cathartic and that it's their therapy on paper.
Yes, it is. It definitely is.
Wow, wow. So you mentioned that um, you use personal life experiences to, push products. Was that always the plan, or was it's just something that just happened?
So at first in 2020, it was more like I wanted to write more boss bitch. I wanted to write more boss women. Um, if I have a weak woman character, she won't be weak for long because I'm gonna have to stump her up upside her head so she can get her sense. So I like writing strong female characters, but not too strong in a way to where it makes them manly. That could be a problem too. So I do like female characters. So in the beginning when I started, it was something that I wanted to do and test it out. But when I took that break, that close to a year break, and I came back, it was a lot of heaviness on my shoulders, and especially with mental illnesses, like my mom has schizophrenia, paranoia, she hears voices. So I got about 10 books where my characters hear voices and they respond to the voices, or they switch personalities and different things like that. And I also worked at a level 4 mental 5150 facility for a year or two. And when I did that, I took the courses, the classes, educated myself. And so sometimes these things might sound far fetched, but these are real things. These are things that really happen. Some people live um, in divided worlds in their heads. And I experienced it with my mom, somebody that raised me, and I watched her go from normal to having these outbursts and these episodes. And it really was tough. It was something that I had to adjust to. At first I thought she's just doing it to do it, but the older I got, I realized like this is something that's really wrong with her, and I had to
Mhm.
learn how to accept it. And to this day, I still pray to God that my mom will find love. That's why I always have my characters find love, and a love that does not judge them or take their mental illness and just say, oh, they're crazy or they on drugs, but know that the mind can be very powerful. And imagine having these mental problems on yourself and there's nothing you could do, and you're in denial, and you think that these things that you're seeing or hearing in your head is real. It's a
Right.
real thing, and that's a big part of why I might write. I think Virgin Society was my last book where she heard voices and stuff like that. But A Beast Captured My Heart was my breakout book for to focus on mental health. And it's just important to me. That's why I do bipolar, I do depression, I do all type of stuff because I do think that that's something in the urban community that we overlook a lot.
Do you intentionally put like you did, mental health? Do you put, I see a lot of people who put different type of illnesses in there. One lady, and I can't remember if it was, I don't think it was you, but someone did diabetes and they kind of went through the process. Do you feel like that's a necessary thing to for readers to understand so they can understand as well? Or, because sometimes for me, when I'm reading a book, it's a teaching moment. Is that the hope for you?
I Yes, it is the hope. I feel like you can't just hold on a second. Are you almost done, Tony? Sorry about that,
That's
y'all.
okay. Because
um
Octavia and her babies was on earlier.
I think that when you say, as an author, when you introduce something that a character, like a mental illness or a sickness, like if I say my character have cancer and I'm just navigating through the book, she never goes to chemo, she never takes medication, how can you feel it? How does this character feel because she has cancer? What's going through her mind? What are her feelings?
Right.
I feel like you have to describe that. You have to give detail on that. You don't have to OD on a detail, but it has to be something that makes the readers feel their pain and feel what they're going
Yeah.
through. And if the readers is not stopping to say, oh, that's sad, or oh, that's, then you're not really doing your job as an author because you want them to feel that. So I mean, like in my dark romance, I got a male character. I ain't gonna even no. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna be
But
quiet.
let me tell you something, because you be pulling out all my emotions. Because when Beam Dukes went and slapped that lady, I said, I felt that slap.
Yeah, I always wanted to write a woman pimp. Hey, Britt, I always wanted a woman pimp Because when I was younger, I used to call myself Pimpsis. When I was like a teenager, I used to call myself Pimpsis. I
That's
used to like
fine.
how the pimps talked, how they dressed, how they walked. Now I'm saying, baby, now I'm saying. I don't know why. I just like it.
You know, okay, so I just did an interview with Octavia Grant, and she surprised the hell out of me. She said some of her favorite books were from Donald Goines and what's the other one? Oh my God, Donald Goines. It was Ice Slim. Ice, what's his name? Ice Book Slim or something. I
I
can't
think I
remember.
know who you talking about. You know what? Wahida Clark got a book too, where the dude was a pimp, but he was a cold blooded pimp. I'm talking that fool was a cold pimp. I was
Iceberg
happy.
Slim. That's it.
You know, oh yeah, Iceberg. I got some. I think I got some of his books in my Kindle, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm
I
about to
don't
put
know if
that
I
on my
do.
Amazon wish list. My birthday's coming up. I'm gonna need y'all
Oh,
to, if y'all want to give
okay.
me a gift, give
Let me
it
write
to
his name
me.
down because I want to check my Kindle to make sure. Iceberg Slim.
Iceberg Slim and Donald Goines. I've read them. I've read them, but I need them on my shelf. So I'm going to probably buy them myself, but I'm gonna put them on my Amazon wish list to see how people respond to them.
Oh yeah, I. You know what? So these are books with pimps. Is that
Yeah,
what? Oh, see,
they pimps.
you done told me the wrong. Why would you tell me that while I'm writing a dark romance? I love that's sad too. See, that's the toxic side of me. I love a good pimp, especially if his mouthpiece is just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And you know, first of all, you know I'm from the Bay Area. We got a whole bunch of pimps up here.
wow, oh yeah, I know. So
We got lots of them.
that's why I have Beam Dukes. And Beam Dukes really showed out. And she said, you think I play hoe?
I love it. Can I can and you probably tell me to write my damn own, and I might one day. I just need a female dom.
A female dime. Ooh.
Bam.
You know what? I think I have that in one of my short outlines for the book The Masterpiece. I think she is a dime, but she ain't nothing nice though.
I don't care how nice or not they are.
She ain't nothing nice.
I'm
She
just
ain't.
saying it is what it is.
I'm going different. And you know, I've been driving myself. I've been writing, but I haven't really been able to really get into my writing like I want to because I've been brainstorming a lot of different storylines, and I try to. The thing with me is I try to give something I haven't read.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I try to come up with all type of stuff that, you know, haven't really, you know, a lot of people can't say, oh, I'm tired of this same old storyline. Like, you know, and then I try to come up with different type of characters that'll stick to y'all. You know, like dang, Masterpiece wrote a sick character named Rick that like the smell of dirt.
When I tell you I was on the ground, I was like, listen, I was if you see in my hashtag sliding down walls, I was really sliding down a wall. Because I
And
was
I was
like,
gonna go far with him. I was
but
gonna
did
go
I not
far
have
with
to
him.
ask you, is that the hardest case?
You know what? My hardest character, was Beast.
Really?
It was Beast and Masters. From the Masters to my Masters was actually the hardest because Masters had a lot of. It was so many emotions in that book. That book, people say they cried with Bow Down. I really didn't shed a tear with Bow Down. I did get a little emotional, but it didn't move me to cry. Like the master to my pieces, by the time I got to book 2 and 3, I was walking away from my computer, literally locking myself in the bathroom and crying.
Really?
I was crying
I got a
because a
question.
lot of things, especially with molestation, that's something
But
that's
you don't hold back. You say you do, but you be pushing the envelope.
nah. I hold back a lot.
Really?
I do. I hold back a
But
lot, especially
why? Why am
because
I whiny? But
our
why?
business is getting banned. one of my books that I actually kind of like, and I mean, besides the sick stuff, because I don't write. And, I mean, matter of fact, this book didn't have no incest in it. I don't read incest books, and I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't write them. But Laurel Bell book got bad. I think it's called Captured,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually like that book. I actually like that book. That was a good book, but she got banned. They banned her ebook. I be scared because a lot of readers are sensitive. Like I think when I release Filth Kings, I gotta freaking put a whole 2 pages of trigger warnings in that book.
Well, that was my question. Why? Okay, I'm going in the book raw dog. Sometimes I pass the trigger warning because I'm one of those
Now
people.
you don't need to read these trigger.
I probably am, but I like to go into a book. If I'm gonna read
Me
a book, I'm gonna
too.
read a book.
I
I'm
don't
just
read
gonna read
trigger
it.
warnings. Yeah,
I'm just gonna read it. I don't care how dark it is. I might be talking shit through the whole book,
that's me.
but I'm gonna finish that book. Now, if it's something like child pornography,
Yeah,
and
nah.
it's something doing the kids, I'm just gonna DNF the book, and I'm just gonna move on to the next book. But baby, if it's to the adults, it's anything goes for me. Just about.
Yeah. No,
Just
and
about.
like my character Master, I don't want to say too much about him. So basically, when he was a kid, he was trafficked, but it don't go into details. He did get trafficked. He
But you
was.
talked about it. It's not the act of.
Oh no! I would never
Right.
write a scene out of something that vile, but it has to be mentioned so readers can understand his feelings.
Right. Right. And I'm okay
Um,
with that.
yeah, it has to be mentioned so readers can understand his feelings, but it's more of like the fighting and the different things that he went through as a kid, as a child. He was a reject baby. So it's different things of those elements, but I can't even, girl, I can't even really mention these characters right now. I'm in love with them, but I can't mention them. I can't say much about them, but drop visuals, and I'm gonna be teasing y'all all the way up until release. I'm
I
working on
can't
doing a
wait.
trailer for it too. I'm working on a trailer for
I
it.
can't wait because I'm all in.
And
I am
then
all in.
after I give y'all that, I'm gonna lighten the mood with a little forbidden romance. I think I'm gonna lighten it back and then go back dark. I'm gonna do dark, explosive dark, then lighten the mood, go with a forbidden romance, and then I'm gonna go back dark, and then after I go dark, I'm gonna hit y'all with a lot of erotica, a lot of feels, a lot of spice. I got a forbidden fruit series. I was supposed to do a cover reveal soon for that, but that's like March back in 2025. So I have the covers. I might do a little short reveal of that, but it's gonna be 5 books. Uh, a forbidden fruit series or something like that.
What genre have you not tapped into that you want to?
Paranormal.
Do you
Paranormal.
want to?
I do. I have a book. I have a story that I printed out and just tossed to the side. I
Ladies.
probably shouldn't have said that, but I do have. It's paranormal fantasy, I guess. It's just I have to. See, with paranormal is even with fantasy, it's world building. It's things a lot of some authors might jump into it and just do it because just to say they did it, but um I think that I see myself taking a whole break, like months of a break of from my normal writing to really get into that and really open it because my favorite paranormal author is Laurel K. Hamilton, and her brain is insane. Like when I read her books, it makes you feel like, okay, what is Twilight? Because Twilight is my favorite movie. with paranoia as far as the wolves and vampire type of thing. But I think when you want to step into something, you really have to. You want to study it. You want to study it, and what I mean by study, not copy, but you want to study and understand that world, that genre, the world of that genre. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just leap into something and think like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but you don't really know the world of it. Um, because especially when you full time like me, you take chances. This is my bread and butter. So everything I do, it's like I have to. It's like I gotta master it because when I give it to the world, it gotta be. It has to be something. It has to be like somebody's gonna leech onto it and say, "Oh, I love this." Oh shoot, let me pick this up.
Child, all I can say is, ma'am, Miss Arthur, ma'am.
Yes, Laurel is very good with world building, and you have to have patience. She has a 30 book series. Oh, I'm not even supposed to say her that name because then my phone gets to thinking I'm talking to her. But she has 30 books in one, like not in one, but 30 like different, sets of books. And you gotta really like the first book is Guilty Pleasures. You really gotta take your time through it because she makes you understand the characters. I think it's the Anita Blake Vampire Hunters books. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like 30 books to that. And her writing is beautiful. Like I had to tell her, like, your writing, like if you read her writing, you be thinking like this girl's crazy. Because how do she come up with this type of stuff?
I be wondering that about you.
Huh? Oh,
I be
me?
wondering that. Yeah. I be like, how she,
You think I'm crazy,
I don't
yeah?
think that you're crazy. No, 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 no. I don't think that you're crazy. I think that you are imaginative, you're creative, and
Because
you know how to
Shannon,
spin it.
me and Shannon was getting on each other. We was going back and forth. And she was like, you done call. I called her back. Like, probably did I call you back 10 minutes later? I was like, no. What I'm gonna do is we gonna do whoop de whoop whoop whoop, and she was like, peace. And I'm like, dang, Shani probably think I'm crazy.
She said they ain't seen nothing yet. I'm just saying. I'm
Oh
just saying.
man,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
because I
So,
don't outline. That's my biggest problem. I don't outline. I
but
don't.
okay. But sometimes outlining doesn't work for a particular author. Do
Yeah.
you do you think that'll make you a better author?
I'm trying. Like I was when I was on the phone with Shannon, I did. I was like, hold on, Shannon, hold on. I got my notes up, and I just start putting notes to remember along the way. But you know, it's one of them things where I feel like even if I was to sit down and outline, like for my Forbidden Love book, I outlined a little bit for that book, but I don't see myself following the outline. I never follow an outline.
So I know that you teach classes. Do
Yes, I
you
do.
teach them how to outline, or you teach them just the masterpiece way?
I teach them how to outline. I'm very upfront and transparent. Gemini, thank you, baby, and I appreciate you supporting me. And I help heal myself along the journey too, babe. So we alone it together because every book is different for me, and what I try to send a message out within that book. But yeah, I do teach a mentor class. It's the basic necessities of what you need to become an author, and I'm very transparent. I talk about everything that goes on in the background and in the forefront, and I help authors along the way. I know out of 30 students, or I probably have more than 30, I've actually signed five of those students because I've read their work and they're just as dope. They have a unique pen and they took my class, they invested in themselves. And I tell all my students, like, now, when you invest and pay this money, don't let that money go to waste because you could have used it for gas if you ain't serious about becoming an author.
Right.
But I'm very transparent. I tell them about KDP, Author Central, finding a publisher, or being independent. You know, it's whatever a person wants to do as far as starting out to become an author. But I'm pretty much open. Any questions they have, they can come to me. You know, I'm here to help. Inbox me. Sometimes I might can't respond right away, but I always get back. You know, so I'm very transparent. I ain't hiding nothing. I ain't got no secret formulas. Whatever you see is what you get. And if you ask me, I'll tell you.
You made the switch from just being an independent author to a publisher as well, ma'am.
Yes, that's crazy. I'm still processing that. That's still something I've been processing. Especially when I'm on the phone with my authors, I FaceTime them and we format together. We go through ideas and I help them with their writing, and I don't know, like it's something I'm processing. I didn't see myself as a publisher, but when I talk to these women, and I gave them everything that they need to know about signing to a publisher, I just really wanted to take them under my wing and see them blossom. So when they ready to go to by themselves to independent, they be ready. They ready. They ready to stand on their own 10 toes with me still supporting them even after they leave me. So
When I tell you,
that's what I want
everybody,
to see.
every author that's signed on you is fire,
Thank you. I love
fire.
them.
So, do
I
you want to
really
tell the
love
people
them.
who are the authors that are signed under you?
Yes,
That you
I
can.
have Madam Wise. Madam Wise is nobody can slow Madam Wise. I'm gonna just say that Madam Wise got 3 books, 4 books. She released 4 books this year, and she's releasing her 5th book on Tuesday. Her Christmas book. So
Wow.
Madam Wise, I have 5 books. I also have Rhonda Lisa. Rhonda Lisa got something explosive on the way. It's explosive. It's called BDE. You know, my mind be going with titles, so I might not can't tell all the titles, but Rhonda Lisa has so far the rhythm to my heart. I know that's her book, but she has a new book coming. And then I have Princess Chanel. She has 2 books. She'll be dropping a 3rd book January. All of them is dropping January actually. So I might
Mhm.
have to sit January out. So Madam Wise, Rhonda Lisa, Princess Chanel, Mona Leah. She dropped Arranged Love Affair. Arranged Love Affair. That's her book. Everybody loves it. She did an awesome job on her first book. She's coming with her part 2 by January the 19th. And my 5th author, we are still. I told her I can't help her with her pen name. A pen name is something special for an author, and the only thing I could do is pretty much say, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I think you know." But as far as her pen name, it will be revealed by the top of January. I'll be posting. I post all of they. You know, once they sign, I usually post them. So
Mhm.
she'll be getting her post. So the 5th author, I will not be saying stating her name, but her pen name will be revealed soon. So Madam Wise, Rhonda Lisa, Princess Chanel, and Mona Leah.
So, your pen name. How did you get your pen name? Because, bam, you be like, you live in your pen name.
So I used to rap. I used to be a buy my mixtape. I'm just playing, but no, I used to want to be a rapper. After my
Well, you
car
shocked the hell out of me. Go ahead.
after my car accident, I had a bad car accident in 2011, and I was going through a lot of stuff as far as like my scars and not really accepting myself. For the new me, I took pride in having a flawless face with no scars or nothing like that. So I was in a bad car accident a day before my 21st birthday, and I went from like masterpiece LG to I started calling myself Scarface, and a lot of people didn't like that. Like, oh, you still pretty with your scars and all of this like that. I was in the hospital 3 months, so I think I had to grow to accept and love myself again, and that's a very long and hard process because it could be a million people telling you that you're beautiful, and if you don't believe that, You know what I'm saying? So it took a long time for me to accept and build my own confidence up.
Right.
And once I did that, I still had that masterpiece name in my back pocket. I think my granny or my mom, somebody said it to me, and I said, you know what? I am a masterpiece. Every time I'm grinding, anything I come up with, I try to mastermind anything that I do. I give it my all, even if I'm helping somebody. I try to mastermind everything. So when I told my first publisher what I wanted my name to be, she was like, now think about this. Do you want people to refer to you as masterpiece if you're signing a big movie deal or you're signing? I said, I don't care. Yeah. They could call me masterpiece if it make them uncomfortable. They could call me MP. They could call me Peace. They call me whatever they, whatever rocks they boat. But I'm sticking with masterpiece. I've had Amazon try to bully me out of my pen name. And that's why when you look me up, you'll see three different names. You'll see Authoress Masterpiece or just Masterpiece, then Master Space Piece, because I wasn't finna let them play me out my name. But that name is dear to me. It's not so much as a cocky statement, but I truly look at my mind as a masterpiece, and especially writing these stories, I try to mastermind every story that I craft and come up with.
How do your kids understand the greatness that their mom is?
My kids is so funny because my son, my 10-year-old, and my 13-year-old, they love to read. And I know that I play a big part in that. When they come home from the library at school, they quick to come show me their books. Sometimes my 10-year-old, he'll come in here in my office space and he'll just look up and stare. And I'll show you guys real quick. I have all my books. This is what keeps me motivated during a writing session.
Wow.
I have all my books above me. So that's what keeps me when I get stuck on a story. I just look up and I kind of like gaze at all my books and I'm like, okay, let's move it along. Let's keep it pushing. But what really touches me is when my kids, my two eldest, they come in here and they just look up and they marvel like, wow, mommy, you really wrote all those books. And every time I have a release, they say, so what book number is this? Is this book 40 yet? Is this book 41? Is this? And I'm like, this book 41 right now. Now I'm writing book 42. So that's how they keep up with me. Like, oh, this is book 42. Well, when you going to get to book 50? And I'm like, just slow down, okay? Slow down. I'm working.
How important is family support or friend support for you, or do you care?
That's something I teach in class too. I tell my students that you cannot expect your family. Now, it's a beautiful thing if your family do support you. But if they don't support you, just look at meeting new people that do support you. So it's not like it feels good when my family do like they'll acknowledge me and say, wow, you really an author, you traveling, you winning awards, and that make me feel good. But in the beginning, like my first year being an author, I used to get fired up. Like, damn, you can't even share my book, but you sharing that whack ass mixtape your friend just dropped. Like a lot of my cousins was showing, reposting their friend shit, and I'm like, oh, but you ain't reposting my butt. That when you carry that type of energy, it's like a bricks on your shoulder because you feel unsupported and you feel like, damn, you're not over here seeing all what I'm doing, everything that of what I'm doing. And sometimes I think that a lot of them don't know, like certain things, like the levels of certain things, like, oh, you're a publisher, oh, you're an author, you publish 40 some books, or oh, you're doing this, or oh, you have over 35 bestsellers, number one bestsellers. Like, a lot of people don't know. Only the industry, the readers, the authors know these levels and what they mean to us authors. So, I don't really focus on them, and it's not important to me. I know that, my granny, my mom, and my auntie, they're proud of me. My man is proud of me. My kids are proud of me. So my immediate family, that matters most to me. You know, they support me. They always tell me how proud they are. They love me. So that means something. But as far as like the outside, like my other family members that don't support me, I've been like, I don't care about that because I have amazing author friends, reader friends, just people supporting me. They inbox me all the time. We converse, and that really like that touches my heart. That makes me feel full. Like that keeps me going when I want to. Because I'm honest, like I've wanted to quit a couple of times because it was overwhelming, or I felt like I was lacking something, or a particular book I put out wasn't good enough, and people overlooked it. I'm human. I go through these different emotions, but I have the people and the support that constantly remind me. I read my reviews. That reminds me, like, keep pushing, keep doing this. I can't fall into a sympathy hole. And I always get on myself when I do that. And I work myself out, but it's a lot of dark days too. But as far as outside support with family, I don't really care. And I think I try to tell authors stepping into this game, do not focus on the family and friends that don't support you because it'll also bring it down. Like it'll make it hard for you to navigate because you're still worried about who's supporting you and who's not. And I had to teach myself that. I had to learn that. That was something that I had to swallow down and keep it pushing.
I did that to myself. I was when I first started Pop Your Shit. Um, I was I was asking my cousins. I was like, y'all post repost everybody else stuff, but y'all don't never like or comment on my stuff. Why is that? So I had to learn to just I mean, not that they I don't think that they're not proud of me, but I had to kind of learn to say, okay, this is not about them. This is about me. This is what I choose to do. This is a dream coming true for me.
Right,
And if
right.
they want to ride along with me, then so be it. If they don't, it is what it is.
Also, you can't, my proofreader used to tell me this. You can't expect you out of everyone. And when my friends, sometimes they come up to me with some ideas that I'd be like, but I'm still gonna support them. I support. I always give my support, even if it's something that I'm not interested in. I'm a support. So it does, we're human, so it does bother you. It does hurt you when you like, well, damn, you couldn't even like the damn post. You ain't even comment on the post. But then you turn around and see them post the most garbage song. And that's why I keep reverting back to music because like I be seeing people post the most wackest mixtape, the wackest song, and you gonna do that over my damn butt.
I'm glad you can laugh about it because, girl, I'll just be looking at them like,
Like I ain't listening to that shit.
or what pisses me off is they be like, why you read so much? Why you listen to that whack ass song? Why you watching that whack ass TV show? Why you
Okay.
watching that remake that you done seen 17,000 times?
Exactly.
I mean, you know,
This is my world, and you ain't finna
exactly.
shame my world. This is what I love. This is what bring me joy.
Do
If you
you feel
don't
like
like it, you could kick rocks.
you're ever pigeonholed in this black space of books? Do you feel like they, publishers and sometimes the readers they try and pigeonhole you into particular books?
When you say pigeonhole, explain that to me.
Do you feel like they try and keep you stagnant in a particular genre?
Yeah. I feel like an author can only do that to themselves. Because, and what I mean by that is you have to, like with this dark romance I'm writing, it's my first dark romance. I've been warming up my readers for this in my private reading group for like 2, 3 months now. I feel like you have to be a force and be like, look, okay, this is what I've been writing, but I'm about to drop this. You kind of got to warm people up because if that's not a genre you want to stay in, be open about it. Talk about different genres you want to jump into. If I was to get ready to say I want to do a paranormal, I probably wouldn't drop under my uh I probably wouldn't do it under my pen name Masterpiece. I probably, if I write paranormal, I'll probably put it under another pen name. And I'm not going to be the author to be ashamed of having another pen name. If I could tell everybody, yeah, that's me. But it's just
Right.
another genre that I want to separate from my urban romance, that type of genre. I feel like only you can really pigeonhole. I mean, if you have a strict publisher that, not even a strict publisher, if you have a publisher that say, hey, these are only the genres that I can market for you. Thank you. If a publisher say these are the genres that I can market, this is my fan base, this is what I could do for you, and you turn around and say, oh, I got a fantasy book I want to write, you can't get mad if nobody reads it under that, because that's not the crowd. That's not, who follows that particular publisher. But if you have a loyal reading base, or even if you don't have a loyal reading base, if you start putting in the work before this particular book drops, meaning you're marketing it, you're stepping outside of the urban romance. I'm using urban romance. So say for instance, you're an urban romance author and you want to write a paranormal book. Okay, so you're gonna step out of that algorithm of urban romance and you're going to go into another algorithm. You're going to start looking up hashtags under this particular new genre you want to write in. You're going to start having be a conversation starter. A lot of people don't like to put they mouth the gab, that they don't want to put that to work. They don't want to be a conversation starter. Get in these groups. Go find you some paranormal groups. I'm in one right now that got over 200,000 readers in there, and certain particular posts get almost 300-400 likes. That's a big bundle of readers right there that's willing to
Right.
support. You got to do the work. So I feel like you can only pigeonhole yourself unless you under a publisher that don't really want to see you. But I feel like as an author, you could pigeonhole yourself and keep yourself in a particular genre because you're scared that your readers will not. And it's okay if your loyal readers don't want to read it because you start feeding them a certain genre and maybe they'll step out and go to, okay, you did urban romance, so maybe they'll go to content and read your content. But stepping into fantasy and paranormal, that's something totally different. And you have to warm that up. Some authors don't warm it up. I call it a rollout. That's what I call a rollout. I roll out every book. I prepare my readers. I've been doing a rollout for this dark romance with no cover, no visuals, just telling them, talking to them. Well, how would you feel? I did polls. What you read if I did a dark romance? That poll was up. That poll went sky high. Yes, 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 yes. So y'all do know this is pitch black. Y'all do know it's not going to be extra soft or kind of soft or just a little bit toxic or a little bit deranged. It's going to be off the chain. I keep it real with them.
Right.
Because this is what you finna get from me. And if you don't want to read it, I've already been preparing. I dropped it on TikTok first with a certain hashtag to reach other people.
Right.
So I could start growing that dark romance. So you finna see me put in work until that book drop. I'm finna be putting in work. I'm finna put in work and I'm finna reach I'm finna go to the dark romance side. Start conversing with readers. Hey, you want to give me a chance? Hey, this with this book, get my blurbs together. These are things I feel like as an author, you gotta start warming up and prepping for, and you can't say, oh, they just trying to keep me in this hole. No, you gotta get yourself out of that hole and you gotta push, be a force. Because I am a force. I am a pusher. I like to push.
And go get up.
I am going to
get it. And that is how I describe you. I describe, what was my word? I said my first word, because normally I ask, what's one word to describe yourself? And I think I'm changing it. I think instead of saying elite, because elite is you are, but I'm gonna say go get her.
I'm sorry, he chopping up onions and then it made its way up in here. I keep blinking my eyes.
That's okay. That's okay.
When
okay. We are live. Things happen.
So y'all gonna see me blink. But I'm blinking because them onions is tearing me up. I mean, it's all the way in there, but it's like that's how I know that meal gonna be good. My stomach already starting to flip flop to it. I love a good Sunday meal.
Me too. Me too. But sadly, I'm not cooking. I
I
mean,
ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't got to do the cooking today because they daddy cooking tonight today, so that's a plus for me.
I'm going to a Christmas party after this interview. I'm
Take
Christmas. I'm Christmas
pictures,
out. I'm Christmas out.
girl. Money wise, I'm Chris.